Ever wonder why two people start with the same skills and knowledge, but one ends up stuck in survival mode while the other builds an empire? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's mindset. Not the motivational quote kind. I'm talking about the real mindset, the kind that builds $100 businesses, shapes industry leaders, and rewires your brain to think like the top 1%. This book isn't just about thinking big, it's about thinking differently. Why this book matters. Most people are trapped in a mental loop. Work hard, save a little, avoid failure, repeat. Meanwhile, billionaires play a different game entirely. Leverage, vision, obsession, systems, impact. This book is your blueprint to escape the first loop and enter the second. You won't find fluff here. You'll find truths most people can't handle, strategies the rich never talk about, and mindset shifts that can change the trajectory of your life if you're ready to receive them. This is not a book. It's a wake-up call. If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you know you're capable of more, but don't know where to start, if you want to think, act, and build like someone who doesn't settle for average, then keep reading. Because once you install the 100 mindset, you'll never see the world or yourself the same way again. Before you start, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Get more powerful audiobooks that help you become 1% better every day. Chapter 1. Own the Game. Mindset isn't everything. It's the foundation for everything. Let's start with a truth that may sting a little. The world isn't fair, but it is predictable. And those who own the game, those who dominate business, wealth, and influence, they don't waste time blaming the rules. They master them, then they bend them. Eventually, they build new ones. What separates a broke genius from a billionaire? It's not IQ, not education, not even hard work. It's mindset, the internal software running the entire machine. Before you learn business strategies, before you talk about scaling or monetizing your skills, you have to install the right operating system in your head. Because the truth is, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And the first system is your mindset. Let's break it down. Most people are playing the wrong game. Imagine life as a game, but nobody ever gave you the rules. You're told to study hard, get a job, save money, retire at 60, and be happy. But that's not a wealth game. That's a survival game, and it was designed for average outcomes. Most people live in reaction mode. They wake up, check their phone, rush to work, react to problems, do what's expected, and go home tired. Repeat. They're playing someone else's game on someone else's rules. Billionaires? They design their game. They choose the arena, pick the players, and most importantly, they decide what winning means to them. Owning the game means stepping back and asking, whose rules am I playing by? Who told me this is the way? What if everything I was taught about success is just one version of the story? Until you ask these questions, you're stuck in a loop. Scarcity versus abundance. Thinking. This is the first mindset switch you must flip. The middle-class mindset is built on scarcity. There's not enough money. I can't afford that. If they win, I lose. I have to compete. The billionaire mindset is built on abundance. There's more than enough to go around. If it exists, I can create it. Collaboration beats competition. Money is infinite. Value creates it. Let's break it down with a real-world example. Two people walk into a room of 50 successful entrepreneurs. The scarcity-minded person thinks, I don't belong here. They're more experienced. I need to prove myself. The abundance-minded person thinks, amazing. I can learn something from every person here. Maybe I'll find a business partner, mentor, or investor. Same room, same opportunity, different mindset, different results. Scarcity thinking shrinks your world. Abundance thinking expands it. And abundance isn't about naive optimism. It's about realizing the modern world is not a zero-sum game. In the age of the internet, money is made by creating value, not just grabbing what's already out there. How billionaires reprogram their minds. Let's be brutally honest. You weren't born thinking small. You were trained to. Every time someone told you, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, or you need to be realistic, your subconscious took note. By age 25, your brain is running on programs written by society, family, school, and media. If those programs are outdated, limited, or fear-based, then no matter how hard you work, you'll self-sabotage. You'll shrink your goals. You'll settle. That's why the first job of the 100-meter mindset is mental. Reprogramming. Step 1. Audit your beliefs. Ask yourself, what do I really believe about money? Do I think I'm worthy of massive success? What do I think about people who are rich? Write your answers down. Be honest, brutally honest. Most people unconsciously believe, if I get rich, people will hate me. I'll lose friends. I don't deserve it unless I suffer for it. Until those beliefs change, nothing else will. Step 2. Upgrade. Your inputs, your mind is shaped by what you consume. Start observing. What kind of content are you feeding your brain daily? Are you learning from billionaires or watching Netflix passively? Are you scrolling memes or building a legacy? Garbage in, garbage out. Power in, power out. Surround your brain with high-level thinking. Podcasts, books, mentors, courses, conversations. Even if you're broke, the internet has made access free. Choose what goes in because it writes the code of your future. Step 3. Visualize. Like a billionaire, visualization isn't woo-woo. It's mental simulation. Top athletes, CEOs, and creators use it daily. Before Elon Musk ever built Tesla, he saw it in his mind. Before Steve Jobs created the iPhone, he imagined it down to the pixel. Train your brain to expect greatness. Close your eyes for 5 minutes a day and see your $100 life. Where do you live? What kind of people do you work with? What kind of impact are you making? How does your energy feel? Do this long enough, and the brain starts working to make it reality. Why? Because the subconscious can't tell the difference between real and imagined. Billionaires don't think in days. They think in decades. Short-term thinking is the enemy of real wealth. Most people think, how can I make quick money this week? Billionaires think, how can I build something so valuable that it prints money for the next 20 years? That's the difference between working a job and owning the factory, between making income and building assets, between being used by the system and owning the system. Let me ask you, what would your decisions look like if you were playing the 20-year game? You'd stop chasing quick wins. Start building things that compound. Skills, brand, relationships. Think long-term. Act daily. You don't need 50 things. You need a few big bets that compound like crazy over time. That's how wealth is made. From employee to owner. Mental shift. Even if you have a 9-to-5 job right now, you must start thinking like an owner. Billionaires don't think in terms of hours. They think in outcomes. They ask, how do I multiply my time? How do I hire people better than me? How do I create a system that runs without me? It's not about working harder. It's about working like the boss. This doesn't mean you start a business tomorrow. It means you start thinking like someone who owns their time, their focus, their energy, their results. Ownership is a mindset before it becomes a job title. Play to win, not just to survive. This is the final switch. Most people are just trying not to lose. What's the safest option? What if it fails? I don't want to look stupid, but billionaires, they play to win. They don't focus on comfort. They focus on expansion. That means taking risks. That means learning from failure. That means building resilience so powerful that failure becomes a stepping stone, not a stop sign. Remember, playing small doesn't protect you. It only guarantees you'll never know your full potential. The 100-meter mindset doesn't ask, what if I fail? It asks, what if this actually works? Chapter 2. Clarity is currency. You can't hit a target you can't see. Imagine you're standing in a pitch-black room, asked to throw a dart at a board you cannot see. You throw blindly, hoping you hit the bullseye. How confident would you feel? How effective would your throws be? Would you keep throwing, or would you give up? The truth is, most people operate this way when it comes to success and wealth. They act without a clear target. They hustle, grind, and hustle some more. But the direction is fuzzy or non-existent. That's why so many burn out, get frustrated, or end up stuck. Clarity is the single most valuable currency you can possess on the road to 100 million and beyond. Without clarity, your efforts scatter like leaves in the wind. With clarity, every step is purposeful, every decision sharper, and your momentum unstoppable. Why clarity outperforms talent and hard work. You've probably heard stories about natural talent and insane hustle, creating overnight success. But ask yourself, how many talented people burn out? How many hustlers spin their wheels for years with no real progress? Here's the secret. Clarity beats talent and hard work when talent and work don't have a clear direction. Think of clarity as a GPS for your journey. Talent is your engine. Hard work is the fuel. But if you don't have a clear destination, your engine and fuel won't get you far. When you know exactly where you want to go, your brain finds ways to make it happen. Ideas flow easier, decisions get simpler, and obstacles become stepping stones. Set 100 meters goals. With $100, clarity, setting big goals like $100 million can feel overwhelming. How do I even begin? What if I fail? Where do I start? Start by breaking it down into clarity-sized pieces. Here's the rule. Your clarity must be more precise than your goal. Goal: $100 million net worth in 10 years. Clarity. What does $100 million mean for you? Clarity. What kind of business or investments will get you there? Clarity. What milestones mark your progress at 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? The more clarity you create, the better you can plan. Example. Instead of saying, I want to be rich, say, I want to build an online software business generating $10 million in annual recurring revenue by year 5. Now you can ask questions like, what skills do I need? What customers will I serve? What marketing channels will I use? Big goals require big clarity. The power of long-term thinking. Your 10-year plan. If you want to build $100 million in wealth, you need to think decades ahead, not days or months. Why? Because wealth is a compound effect. Small, consistent actions, done over time, grow exponentially. But only if you're clear about the end game. Long-term thinking creates patience in a world obsessed with instant gratification. Aligns your daily habits with your ultimate vision. Shields you from distractions that only offer short-term gains. Make your 10-year plan your North Star. What to include in your 10-year plan. Financial targets. Revenue, savings, net worth, career or business milestones, skill sets to master, relationships and network goals, personal growth and health benchmarks. Writing this down isn't just an exercise. It reprograms your subconscious to recognize opportunities aligned with your vision. Avoiding the clarity killer, distractions and decision fatigue. In today's hyper-connected world, distractions lurk everywhere. Social media, emails, notifications, meetings, news, all designed to pull your attention away from what matters. Distraction is the enemy of clarity. Every time your focus shifts, you pay a hidden cost. Decision fatigue. Decision fatigue means your brain's ability to make quality decisions deteriorates the more you decide. By the end of the day, your mental energy is drained, and your decisions become impulsive or lazy. Billionaires guard their clarity fiercely by designing their environment. Limit your inputs. Choose 1 to 2 trusted news or information sources instead of drowning in noise. Batch decisions. Set times to check emails or social media instead of constant interruptions. Simplify choices. Create routines to reduce daily decisions, e.g., morning routines, wardrobe choices. Say no often. Learn to say no to meetings, events, or projects that don't align with your long-term plan. A clear mind makes better decisions. Better decisions create better results. Tools and techniques to sharpen. Clarity isn't magic. It's a muscle that you must train. Try these techniques to boost your clarity daily. Journaling. Spend 10 minutes every morning writing your top 3 priorities and why they matter. This forces your brain to focus on what's most important. Visualization. Close your eyes and picture your future self. What's your day like? Who are you with? What feelings do you have? This sharpens your mental picture. Mind mapping. Use diagrams to break big goals into smaller steps. Visually seeing the plan reduces overwhelm. Time blocking. Schedule your day in chunks dedicated to specific tasks aligned with your goals. This keeps distractions at bay. Reflection. At day's end, review what you accomplished and what distracted you. Adjust your plan to minimize those distractions tomorrow. How clarity transforms uncertainty into opportunity. When you have clarity, uncertainty loses its power. Every successful entrepreneur or billionaire faces uncertainty. Markets change, deals fall through, technology shifts, but clarity keeps you anchored. Think of clarity like a lighthouse in a storm. The storm is uncertainty. The lighthouse is your vision and plan. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, clarity lets you see new routes, pivot quickly, and keep moving. For example, when COVID-19 shut down many businesses, the billionaires who thrived weren't those who ignored reality. They were those who clearly saw the new opportunities. E-commerce, online education, digital payments, and acted decisively. How to know when you lack clarity. If you feel any of these, you probably need more clarity. You wake up overwhelmed and don't know what to focus on. You constantly switch between projects but finish none. You feel stuck despite working hard every day. You're fearful about your future or finances. You procrastinate because the goal seems too big or vague. These feelings aren't signs of failure. They're signs you need to clarify your vision and break it down into actionable steps. Clarity creates confidence. Confidence is the silent fuel behind every $100 million success story. But confidence isn't arrogance or blind optimism. It's the certainty that you know your direction, that your actions lead somewhere. Every time you gain clarity, whether from a clear goal, a plan, or a decision, you build confidence. And confidence is a magnetic. It attracts opportunities, partners, and resources. When you speak with clarity, People listen. When you act with clarity, you get results. How to clarify your purpose. Beyond money, money is a powerful motivator, but clarity about why you want wealth makes the journey meaningful. Ask yourself, what impact do I want to create? How will 100 million change my life and the lives of others? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Billionaires who think beyond the dollar signs develop a deeper resilience. Their purpose is a compass, especially when the journey gets tough. Putting it all together. Your clarity. Action plan to start owning your clarity today. Here's your simple action plan. Write your $100 million goal. Make it as specific as possible. Break it down into 1-year, 3-year, and 5-year milestones. Create a 10-year vision covering personal, professional, financial, and relational goals. Identify your top 3 daily priorities that move you closer to those milestones. Set boundaries to protect your focus. Limit distractions, batch decisions, and say no to non-essential commitments. Reflect daily and weekly on your progress and adjust as needed. Remember, clarity isn't static. It's a living process. The clearer you get, the faster you grow. Chapter 3. Obsession over passion. Passion fades. Obsession builds empires. When most people dream of success, they hear a common mantra. Follow your passion. It sounds inspiring and sweet. But here's a blunt truth. Passion alone is a flimsy foundation for lasting success. Passion is a spark. It ignites excitement, but it can also flicker out or burn unevenly. Obsession? Obsession is fire that consumes and drives you relentlessly, sometimes irrationally, but with laser focus. If you want to build a $100 million empire, passion isn't enough. You need obsession. Why passion isn't enough? Passion is often confused with what you love to do. But love alone doesn't pay bills, solve problems, or break through obstacles. Passion can be emotional and fleeting. You feel it during the honeymoon phase, the first months or years, when everything seems exciting and new. But then the grind sets in. The long hours, setbacks, rejection, and doubt. Here's what happens to passion. It fades when results don't come fast enough. It wavers under stress and uncertainty. It dies when you face criticism or failure. This is why many passionate entrepreneurs start strong but burn out or quit before reaching massive success. Obsession, the relentless engine of billionaires' obsession, is different. It's an all-consuming drive to solve a problem, perfect a product, or disrupt an industry. It's less about loving the job and more about a compulsion to achieve a vision. Obsession fuels endurance. When passion fades, obsession keeps you going. Focus. Obsession cuts through distractions and shiny objects. Innovation. Obsession pushes you to improve relentlessly and think creatively. Sacrifice. Obsession convinces you to work nights, learn new skills, and endure discomfort. Consider this. Elon Musk didn't just like electric cars or rockets. He was obsessed with changing humanity's future. Jeff Bezos wasn't merely interested in online retail. He was obsessed with building the world's largest customer-centric company. Mark Zuckerberg wasn't just into social networks. He was obsessed with connecting billions. How to identify obsession. Obsession looks like you can't stop thinking about your vision, even when you're away from work. You constantly learn and improve related skills. You notice problems no one else does and want to fix them immediately. You take extreme ownership. If something fails, you blame yourself, not others. You sacrifice comfort, free time, and even social life without hesitation. Obsession isn't balanced or casual. It demands your mental energy and shapes your daily decisions. Obsession versus burnout. Walking the fine line. Obsession sounds ideal until it becomes unhealthy. Many confuse obsession with burnout, a state of physical and mental exhaustion. The difference is purpose and control. Healthy obsession energizes you, gives meaning to long hours, pushes you forward despite challenges. Burnout drains you, leads to cynicism, frustration, and loss of motivation. How to avoid burnout while being obsessed? Purposeful rest, schedule deliberate breaks and downtime. Rest fuels creativity and longevity. Set boundaries. Obsession is about intensity, not chaos. Define work hours and stick to them when possible. Stay connected. Don't isolate yourself. Surround yourself with mentors, peers, and loved ones who can ground you. Celebrate small wins. Obsession is a marathon, not a sprint. Acknowledge progress to maintain motivation. Case study: Elon Musk, obsession with impact. Elon Musk's journey illustrates obsession perfectly. He didn't just want to build another car company. He was obsessed with revolutionizing transportation on Earth and beyond. Tesla's mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy consumed him. His obsession meant working 100-plus hour weeks consistently, personally learning rocket science for SpaceX, constantly iterating products until they worked flawlessly, investing his own money repeatedly, risking bankruptcy. Musk's obsession wasn't about luxury or fame. It was about solving existential problems no one else dared to tackle. His relentless pursuit changed multiple industries and created billions in value. Case study: Jeff Bezos, obsession with customer centricity. Jeff Bezos built Amazon not on passion for retail, but obsession over customer experience. His mantra: start with the customer and work backwards. Every decision, from product offerings to logistics to pricing, was driven by this obsession. Bezos obsessively measured customer satisfaction, delivery speed, and pricing. He famously embraced long-term thinking, sacrificing short-term profits for decades to dominate the market. This obsession allowed Amazon to expand from books to a trillion-dollar empire. Case study: Mark Zuckerberg, obsession with connection. Zuckerberg's obsession wasn't just building a social network. It was about connecting the world, allowing people to share their lives and ideas instantly. This obsession led him to push rapid product development, launching features like Newsfeed and Messenger, face relentless criticism yet continue iterating, expand Facebook's mission into areas like virtual reality and global internet access. Zuckerberg's obsession reshaped how billions communicate and consume information daily. How to turn your obsession into daily execution. Obsession alone doesn't create empires. It must be paired with consistent execution. Here's how to harness obsession for daily progress. Create rituals. Daily habits that reinforce your obsession. Keep your focus alive. Journaling, reading industry news, practicing skills. Set micro goals. Break big obsessions into daily achievable tasks to avoid overwhelm and build momentum. Track progress. Use metrics and checkpoints to measure how your obsession translates into results. Learn relentlessly. Obsession means you seek knowledge constantly. Books, podcasts, mentors. Build feedback loops. Test ideas fast. Learn from mistakes. And refine quickly. When you obsess over progress, not just ideas, you transform vision into reality. How to find obsession. When passion feels missing. Not everyone wakes up obsessed with a business or project. It's okay. Obsession can be cultivated, not just discovered. Ways to cultivate obsession. Start solving real problems. Look around. What frustrates you or others? Begin tackling it. Immerse yourself. Spend time with experts, join communities, and learn deeply about your field. Challenge yourself. Set difficult but achievable goals that push your limits. Visualize success. Imagine what life looks like after reaching your goals daily. Build momentum. Obsession grows from small wins and visible progress. Obsession isn't always lightning strike inspiration. It's a muscle you build through discipline and curiosity. To why billionaires obsess over problems, not money. Here's a critical mindset shift. Billionaires obsess over solving big problems, not accumulating money. Money is a byproduct, not the primary goal. When your obsession is with improving people's lives, creating new technology, or disrupting industries, money flows naturally. The difference is huge. Obsessing over money often leads to short-term thinking, scams, or shallow tactics. Obsessing over problems fuels innovation, customer loyalty, and long-term wealth. Shift your focus from chasing cash to becoming obsessed with impact, and you unlock true billionaire potential. Obsession is a double-edged sword. Use it wisely. Obsession can also blind you if not managed. Many founders or entrepreneurs become obsessed with an idea so deeply that they ignore feedback or market signals. The antidote: stay humble. Regularly seek honest feedback. Balance obsession with openness. Be willing to pivot if evidence suggests a better path. Keep mental health in check. Obsession without balance leads to isolation and burnout. The best billionaires balance fierce obsession with smart flexibility. Practical exercises to build your obsession. Muscle, here are some exercises to help you cultivate obsession productively. Daily deep work. Block 90-minute sessions where you focus entirely on your obsession project without distraction. Problem journaling. Write down every problem or inefficiency you notice in your field daily. Reflect on solutions. 30-day challenge. Commit to one skill or habit related to your obsession every day for 30 days. Accountability. Partner. Find someone to share your obsession journey and check progress weekly. Learn from obsessives. Read biographies or interviews of people obsessed with their craft to model their mindset. Chapter 4. Leverage. Everything. Time is limited. Leverage is not. When you want to build extraordinary wealth, one of the most critical mindset shifts is understanding the power of leverage. No matter how talented or hardworking you are, your hours in a day are fixed. You cannot buy more time. But what you can do is learn to leverage resources that multiply your impact beyond your own physical limits. If you dream of $100 million business, or even just significant personal success, this chapter will show you exactly how to use leverage effectively. The billionaires you admire all understand leverage deeply. They don't just work hard, they work smart by amplifying their efforts through systems, technology, capital, people, and media. What is leverage? At its core, leverage means using something to get a greater result than you could alone. It's about magnifying your efforts. Imagine you want to move a heavy boulder. Pushing it alone will be slow and exhausting. But if you use a lever, a long pole, and a fulcrum, you can move that same boulder with less effort. The lever multiplies your strength. In business and life, leverage is your invisible lever. When you leverage properly, you produce exponential returns instead of linear progress. The 4 main types of leverage billionaires use. To simplify how leverage works, let's break it into 4 main categories that billionaires consistently use. A. Code, leverage, technology, and automation. Code leverage means using software, apps, algorithms, or any form of automation to replace or multiply human work. Think about companies like Google, Amazon, and Facebook. Their value is primarily built on code. Google's search algorithms serve billions of queries without requiring millions of employees to answer each question manually. Amazon's automated warehouses, AI recommendations, and software infrastructure Handle orders, logistics, and customer service at scale. Facebook's algorithms analyze user data and serve personalized content automatically to billions. How to use code leverage. Automate repetitive tasks in your business using software tools. Use AI to analyze data, create content, or improve customer support. Build or buy apps that can do the work for you 24/7 without additional labor cost. With code, once your software or system is built, it can run endlessly without needing your constant attention. Capital leverage, money and investment. Capital leverage means using money to create more money or to fund projects that scale your business. Billionaires understand that money is not just income to spend, but fuel to build bigger ventures. They invest in other companies or assets that generate passive income, marketing campaigns that bring exponential customer growth, hiring top talent or experts to multiply their business impact. When you have capital, you can buy tools and resources to increase productivity, take bigger risks with larger potential, payoffs, scale faster than a bootstrapped business, see people leverage, teams and networks. One of the most underrated forms of leverage is people. No billionaire builds their empire alone. They surround themselves with talented teams, advisors, partners, and mentors. People leverage means delegating tasks to experts so you focus on high-level decisions, building systems and cultures that allow others to perform at their best, networking strategically to access new opportunities, clients, and resources. Good leaders understand how to multiply their impact through others, empowering people to achieve company goals without micromanagement. D. Media leverage, content and influence. Media leverage is about using platforms, audiences, and content to amplify your message, brand, and sales. Today, billionaires build personal brands and companies with massive reach through media. Social media channels like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok can create viral exposure overnight. Podcasts and newsletters build loyal audiences who trust and buy from you repeatedly. Traditional media appearances and PR boost credibility and open doors. By creating valuable content or owning a media platform, you leverage the attention of millions without working one-on-one. Why leverage matters more than hard. Work many people believe, work hard, is the ultimate formula for success. Hard work is important, but leverage multiplies hard work's effect. Imagine two people. Person A works 12 hours a day, alone, doing every task manually. Person B works 6 hours a day, but leverages technology, capital, people, and media to get 10x the output. Who wins in the long run? Person B, leverage lets you scale without scaling your hours. It frees you to focus on strategic growth rather than grinding every detail. How to start leveraging. Today, leverage might sound complex, but you can start small. Here's how. Step 1. Analyze your daily activities. Write down everything you do in a day or a week. Separate tasks into high value, strategic decisions, relationship building. Low value, routine, repetitive, or administrative. Low value tasks are your first candidates for leverage. Step 2. Automate or delegate low value tasks. Look for ways to automate repetitive tasks with apps or software. Examples. Automate email responses with templates or AI. Use scheduling software for meetings. Delegate bookkeeping or customer support to virtual assistants. Step 3. Build a team or network. If you don't have a team, start by hiring freelancers or part-time help for specialized work. If you already have a team, improve how you delegate and empower them with clear goals and feedback. Step 4. Invest in yourself and capital. Use capital wisely. Invest in courses, mentors, and tools that can improve your skills and business systems. If you have money, deploy it to fund marketing or hire experts to multiply growth. Step 5. Create or expand your media presence. Start sharing your knowledge and brand through social media, blogs, or podcasts. Even small audiences can become powerful. Leverage over time. Tools and technologies. Billionaires. Use billionaires are early adopters of technology and tools that give them leverage. Some common tools include CRM software, customer relationship management, for managing leads and sales pipelines automatically. Automation tools, Zapier, IFTTT, to connect different apps and automate workflows. AI tools, ChatGPT, Jasper, for content creation, research, and customer interaction. Project management software, Asana, Trello, to coordinate team tasks efficiently. Investment platforms, for passive income and growing capital leverage. The key is to learn about these tools and incorporate them gradually into your workflow. Leverage and mindset. Think big. Act smart. Leverage is as much a mindset as it is a strategy. Billionaires think in terms of systems, scalability, and multiplication rather than just working harder. Here's a shift for you. Stop seeing your business as me doing everything. Start seeing it as a machine you build, improve, and scale. Focus on designing processes that run without you. Think about which assets you can build once and use repeatedly. Courses, books, software. Case study. Warren Buffett and capital leverage. Warren Buffett became one of the richest people in the world by mastering capital leverage. He didn't invent new technology or trends. He used capital to buy and grow companies. Buffett's genius: invest in undervalued companies with strong fundamentals. Use profits to buy more assets and compound wealth. Avoid distractions and stick to his circle of competence. Buffett's model shows how capital, when used wisely, is the ultimate lever for wealth creation. Case study. Sarah Blakely and people leverage. Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, started with $5,000 and built a billion-dollar brand. She didn't do it alone. Early on, she surrounded herself with experts in product development, marketing, and sales. She learned to delegate operational tasks, build relationships with manufacturers and retailers, empower her team with a clear vision and trust. Blakely's story teaches that even solo founders need people leverage to scale. Common leverage mistakes and how to avoid them. Many entrepreneurs fail to use leverage effectively because they try to do everything themselves. Lack of delegation. Invest money in the wrong places. Poor ROI. Rely too heavily on one form of leverage and ignore others. Fail to automate basic processes. Avoid these traps by evaluating ROI regularly, balancing your leverage types, hiring or outsourcing strategically, continuously improving systems. How to use media leverage. For explosive growth in today's digital age, media is one of the most powerful forms of leverage. Building an audience gives you direct access to potential customers, investors, and collaborators. Tips to harness media leverage. Create consistent, valuable content that solves problems. Engage authentically with your audience. Collaborate with influencers or partners to expand reach. Use paid ads strategically to amplify content. Remember, media leverage can build a brand that lasts far beyond your own effort. Mew. Multiplying your results without multiplying your hours. The ultimate goal of leverage is to get more done in less time without burning out. When you combine code, capital, people, and media leverage, you create a feedback loop. Technology automates routine tasks. Capital funds, growth, and quality talent. People execute and innovate. Media amplifies your message and sales. This loop allows you to scale your business beyond your physical presence and time. Chapter 5. Skills. Stack. Wealth. Track. If you want to build a $100 million mindset, you need to master the art of building a skills stack. Why? Because one high-income skill alone won't take you to billionaire status, but a powerful combination of skills working together will. Think of it like this. One skill is a single tool, but a skills stack is your whole toolbox, ready to build empires. Why one skill isn't enough? Many people believe that learning one killer skill, like coding, sales, or investing, will guarantee wealth. But here's the harsh truth. That's rarely the case. Even the most talented single-skill specialists hit ceilings. Why? Because true wealth creation demands mastery over multiple domains, a combination of skills that multiply each other's power. Take Warren Buffett, for example. He didn't just become the Oracle of Omaha by reading balance sheets. He mastered investing, psychology, patience, decision-making, and communication. Elon Musk isn't just an engineer. He's a marketer, strategist, negotiator, and visionary leader. The skills stack is what multiplies their impact. What is a skills stack? A skills stack is a deliberate, strategic layering of complementary skills that amplify your value exponentially. It's not about trying to become an expert in everything, but about stacking skills that support your goals and make you unique. A personal monopoly that no one else can easily replicate. Imagine a triangle. The base is foundational skills you must master, like communication. The middle is advanced skills that support your core, like negotiation. The apex is specialized skills that differentiate you, like strategic foresight or technical mastery. Each layer strengthens the others, creating a powerful pyramid of capability. Building your personal monopoly. The goal of stacking skills is to build a personal monopoly, a unique set of abilities that make you indispensable and create enormous value. When you have a personal monopoly, you are not competing in a crowded market of generalists. Instead, you stand alone in your niche with expertise few can match. For example, if you combine skills in digital marketing, storytelling, and data analysis, you become a rare expert who can not only create compelling campaigns, but also measure their impact and optimize them. That blend makes you valuable beyond any one skill. To build your personal monopoly, identify your core strengths. What are you naturally good at? What skills excite you? Start stacking around those. Add complementary skills. Choose skills that enhance and support your core. Keep learning and evolving. Stay curious and keep adding new skills to your stack over time. The Billionaire Skill Stack: Sales, Persuasion, Strategy, and Systems. When we look at billionaires across industries, certain skills show up repeatedly. Let's explore the 4 pillars of the Billionaire Skill Stack. Sales selling is the most fundamental skill for creating wealth. Whether you're selling a product, service, or idea, your ability to influence others' decisions directly impacts your income. Why is sales so critical? Because every business, every deal, every investment involves convincing someone else, a customer, partner, investor, to say yes. Without sales, value stays trapped inside you. Mastering sales means understanding customer psychology, mastering communication, overcoming objections, and building trust. The best salespeople listen more than they talk, ask powerful questions, and focus on solving problems, not just pushing products. Action tip: practice selling every day. Whether it's convincing a friend, negotiating a raise, or pitching a project, learn frameworks like spin selling, consultative sales, or storytelling sales. Persuasion. Persuasion goes hand in hand with sales, but is a broader skill that influences thoughts, emotions, and behavior beyond transactions. Persuasion is about shaping beliefs, motivating action, and inspiring loyalty. It's the skill behind leadership, marketing, negotiations, and even your daily interactions. To master persuasion, study principles like reciprocity, social proof, scarcity, and authority, concepts popularized by psychologist Robert Cialdini. Craft your messages to align with your audience's desires and fears. Use storytelling to make your points memorable. Action. Tip. Observe persuasive communicators, leaders, marketers, speakers, and analyze what makes their messages effective. Practice writing persuasive emails or speeches. Strategy is the ability to see the big picture and make decisions that maximize long-term value. It's not just about working hard, but working smart. Billionaires think in systems, opportunities, and risks. They anticipate future trends, position themselves to take advantage, and avoid costly mistakes. Strategic thinking requires curiosity, pattern recognition, and discipline. It means constantly asking, what's the best move now? What's the best move next? Action. Tip. Practice scenario planning. When faced with decisions, consider multiple outcomes and pick the option with the highest expected value. Read books on strategy, like Good Strategy, Bad Strategy by Richard Rumelt. Finally, systems skills let you scale your impact. Systems are repeatable, reliable processes that let you do more with less time and effort. Billionaires build systems in their businesses and personal lives, automating workflows, delegating tasks, creating checklists, and using technology. Systems create leverage, freeing you from being the bottleneck. This means you can multiply your results exponentially without burning out. Action tip. Identify repetitive tasks in your life or work. Create checklists, automate where possible, and delegate low-value activities. How to learn faster, better, and more deeply. Building a skill stack means you must be a master learner. Learning efficiently and deeply is a skill in itself. Here are proven techniques to accelerate your skill building. Deliberate practice. Focus on the hardest parts of a skill, push yourself out of comfort zones, and get feedback. Chunking. Break complex skills into smaller, manageable pieces. Master each chunk before moving on. Interleaving. Mix practice of different skills to improve retention and flexibility. Teach others. Explaining what you learn strengthens your own understanding. Use spaced repetition. Review material over increasing intervals to embed knowledge deeply. Commit to continuous improvement. The billionaire mindset never settles for good enough. Real-life example. Elon Musk's skill stack. Elon Musk is often cited as a genius entrepreneur, but his success isn't just raw talent. It's a unique skills stack. He started with software coding, which gave him a logical and technical foundation. He learned physics and engineering deeply, giving him credibility in space and automotive industries. He developed marketing and PR skills to build Tesla's brand. And he built strategic thinking to align his ventures for maximum impact. Musk's personal monopoly lies in this unique combination: tech, strategy, marketing, and engineering, layered to create innovations few can match. Your skills stack. Action plan start. Building your skills stack today with these steps. Audit your current skills. Write down what you know well and what you want to learn. Choose 3 core skills. Pick 1 foundational skill and 2 complementary ones. Create a learning schedule. Dedicate consistent daily or weekly time. Practice real-world application. Apply skills in projects, jobs, or side hustles. Seek feedback and adjust. Find mentors, peers, or coaches for honest feedback. Document your progress. Journaling or recording what you learn helps reinforce growth. Keep adding layers. Once confident, add new skills to your stack strategically. The wealth track is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Mastering your skill stack takes time, patience, and grit. You won't get rich overnight by stacking skills, but every skill you add multiplies your potential. Remember, billionaires don't just get lucky. They cultivate their skills over years, learning from failures, adapting, and growing stronger. If you commit to building your skill stack relentlessly, you set yourself on the true wealth track. The path to creating $100 million mindset success and beyond. Summary. Key takeaways from this chapter. One skill alone is not enough. Stacking skills multiplies your value. Build a personal monopoly by combining unique and complementary skills. The Billionaire skill stack includes sales, persuasion, strategy, and systems. Learn to master sales and persuasion to influence and lead. Develop strategic thinking for long-term success. Create systems to leverage time and scale impact. Be a master learner. Deliberate practice, chunking, interleaving, teaching, and spaced repetition. Start with an action plan and commit to lifelong skill building. Wealth is created by those who build and grow their skill stack continuously. Chapter 6. Learn to love boring. When you imagine the path to $100 million, what do you see? Flashy cars? Exotic vacations? Lavish parties? Maybe fast-talking deals and high-stakes risk-taking? Here's a truth bomb that will shake your perception. 100 million success is rarely glamorous. It's not about constant excitement or dramatic breakthroughs. Instead, it's about mastering the boring, day-in, day-out systems that quietly compound into extraordinary wealth. This chapter is going to change how you think about success, because learning to love boring is the real secret to building massive, lasting wealth. Let's unpack why discipline beats motivation, how boring routines lead to explosive results, and how the richest people in the world stick to habits that others ignore. The myth of motivation, why it's overrated. Motivation feels like a powerful force. We all want it, chase it, and wait for it to magically spark action. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you wake up energized and ready to conquer the world. The next day, you want to stay in bed. Here's the catch. Motivation can't be your fuel for long-term success. Because if you wait for motivation, you'll be stuck on a roller coaster of inconsistent effort. This is where discipline comes in. And it's the ultimate game changer. Discipline means showing up regardless of how you feel. It means committing to the process even when motivation is MIA. It's about building a system that runs smoothly whether you're excited or not. In fact, studies show that discipline predicts success far better than raw talent or motivation. Why? Because discipline creates habits. Habits automate your behavior so that your actions don't depend on willpower or mood. Billionaires and top performers understand this. They don't rely on feeling inspired to work hard. They've built unbreakable discipline around their daily routines. The power of systems. How boring. Wins Big Success is not a one-time event or a single big win. It's a systemized process. When you create effective systems, a repeatable set of actions, you build momentum that compounds over time. Think about compound interest in finance. Small, consistent deposits grow into massive wealth. The same applies to your habits and routines. The irony is, the systems that lead to 100 million results usually look boring on the surface, But behind the scenes, these simple, disciplined systems are what produce extraordinary outcomes. Take Warren Buffett. He spends hours reading every day, a seemingly dull activity. But this boring routine allows him to make smarter investment decisions consistently. Or look at Jeff Bezos, who emphasized customer obsession and operational excellence, focusing on steady incremental improvements rather than flashy marketing stunts. Building boring routines that bring explosive results. How do you build these powerful, boring routines? Here's the blueprint. Focus on high-leverage activities. Not all tasks are created equal. Billionaires identify and prioritize activities that create the most value and avoid busy work. If you want to build a $100 million mindset, start by listing your daily activities and rating their impact. Cut out or delegate low-impact tasks so you can double down on what moves the needle. Create time blocks and guard them. Fiercely, the richest people treat their time like a precious resource. They schedule focused blocks for deep work. Uninterrupted, distraction-free time where they tackle their highest value work. Protect these time blocks like gold. Say no to meetings and distractions that don't align with your goals. Embrace consistency over intensity. It's tempting to go all in with bursts of intense effort, but the sustainable path is consistency. It's better to work 1 hour every day for a year than to work 10 hours one day and burn out the next. Automate and delegate repetitive tasks. Automation is the backbone of boring systems. Use technology and teams to take repetitive tasks off your plate. This frees your mental energy for higher-level work. The neuroscience behind habit formation. Understanding how habits work in your brain helps you build better routines. Habits form through a loop. Cue. A trigger that starts the behavior. Routine. The behavior itself. Reward. The payoff that reinforces the habit. When you consciously design cues and rewards, you can make boring actions automatic. For example, if you want to build a habit of reading daily, place your book by your bed. Cue. Read for 10 minutes each night. Routine. And reward yourself with a cup of tea or a relaxing moment afterward. How billionaires stick to boring habits. Let's peek behind the curtain at how some of the wealthiest people embrace boring habits. Oprah Winfrey meditates daily, keeps a gratitude journal, and follows a strict morning routine. Bill Gates blocks off time for think weeks, quiet, focused weeks for reading and reflecting. Richard Branson wakes early, exercises daily, and journals consistently. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same style of clothes every day to reduce decision fatigue. What do all these routines have in common? They're boring, repetitive, and unglamorous, but they create clarity, focus, and sustained energy. The discipline habit loop. Making it stick to build discipline. You need to create a habit loop that fuels itself. Set clear, specific goals. Vague goals lead to vague effort. Design simple, repeatable actions. Break goals into small daily behaviors. Track your progress. Measurement builds motivation and accountability. Celebrate small wins. Positive reinforcement encourages continuation. Use visual reminders. Calendars, apps, or sticky notes keep goals top of mind. Boredom as a superpower. What if you could reframe boredom not as a weakness, but a superpower? Boredom is your brain telling you to focus. When you learn to sit with boredom, resisting the urge to chase distractions, you build mental toughness and focus. Mastering boredom helps you avoid shiny object syndrome, reduce procrastination, and cultivate the patience billionaires need. Overcoming common challenges. No chapter about discipline would be complete without addressing the obstacles. Resistance and laziness. Understand that resistance is normal. Use the 5-minute rule. Commit to doing the task for just 5 minutes to overcome inertia. Distractions. Eliminate or limit your access to distractions. Use apps that block social media or create a distraction-free workspace. Burnout. Build in rest and recovery. Discipline isn't about grinding nonstop, but balancing work and self-care. Case study. The compound effect of daily discipline. Consider the story of Darren Hardy, author of The Compound Effect. He shares how small, consistent actions transformed his life and business. Darren's success wasn't about radical overnight change. It was about committing to boring, daily disciplines like reading, writing, and tracking goals. His story is a perfect example of how loving boring is the gateway to extraordinary results. Your action plan. Start loving boring today. Here's how you begin embracing boring routines that create explosive growth. Choose one high-impact routine. Start small. Maybe it's a 10-minute morning planning session or a nightly review of your goals. Schedule it daily. Put it on your calendar and treat it like a non-negotiable appointment. Eliminate barriers. Prepare your environment so the routine is easy. To start, track your consistency. Use a habit tracker or journal. Adjust and scale. As you build confidence, add more routines and increase their intensity. Chapter 7. Risk. Like the rich. When it comes to wealth, one common myth stands out. Billionaires are reckless gamblers who take wild chances. The truth? They don't avoid risk, but they don't blindly leap into it either. Instead, they master the art of risk management like no one else. They take calculated, smart risks that the average person never dares to try, while avoiding the kinds of risks that lead to failure. If you want to build a $100 million mindset, you must first change how you think about risk. This chapter will teach you how to differentiate smart risk from foolish risk, how to play the long game without playing it safe, and how to place asymmetric bets that offer massive upside with limited downside. Why risk is the gateway to wealth. Let's start by understanding why risk is essential for building enormous wealth. Simply put, no risk, no reward is not just a cliché. It's a fundamental law of business and investing. Playing it safe will keep you comfortable, but will never catapult you to extraordinary success. In fact, billionaires often say that their biggest wins came from risks others wouldn't take, because they understood something the crowd didn't. But there's a difference between taking risks and gambling. Gambling is blind luck. Risk-taking by the rich is strategic, informed, and deliberate. They embrace risk as a necessary part of growth. But they do it with a safety net and a plan. Smart risks versus stupid risks. How to tell the difference. One of the biggest hurdles to developing a billionaire mindset is learning to take smart risks and avoid stupid ones. Here's how to tell them apart. Understand the odd smart risk takers analyze the probability of success. They do homework, gather data, and calculate odds before diving in. For example, an entrepreneur might research market size, competitor, weaknesses, and customer pain points before launching a product. On the other hand, stupid risk takers jump in based on impulse or hype without understanding the true odds. They ignore red flags or dismiss due diligence. Manage your downside. A hallmark of smart risk is knowing what you can afford to lose and protecting your downside. Billionaires often invest only a fraction of their capital in any one venture or bet, ensuring that even if it fails, their financial stability remains intact. Stupid risks put everything on the line with no backup plan. A recipe for disaster. Evaluate the potential upside smart risk takers. Focus on asymmetric upside. Scenarios where the potential reward vastly outweighs the risk. For example, investing $10,000 in a startup that could be worth millions if successful, versus spending $10,000 on a stock with limited growth potential. The psychology of risk. Why most people fail to take a risk isn't just a numbers game. It's a mindset battle. Most people fear failure and loss more than they desire success. This fear paralyzes them into playing it safe or never trying at all. Billionaires, by contrast, reframe risk as a learning experience and an opportunity to grow. They don't fear failure because they see it as temporary and instructive, not final. Psychologists call this risk tolerance, the ability to endure uncertainty without panic. How can you build higher risk tolerance? Start by exposing yourself to small, manageable risks regularly, reflecting on past failures as lessons, not setbacks, building confidence through preparation and knowledge, playing the long game, risk without playing. Safe-taking risk doesn't mean reckless abandon. The richest investors and entrepreneurs play the long game. Patient, strategic risk-taking with a focus on sustainable growth. Take Warren Buffett again as an example. His style isn't about chasing quick wins, but about buying undervalued companies and holding them for decades. This approach involves risk. The market fluctuates, companies face challenges. But Buffett manages it by choosing high-quality businesses and diversifying. Similarly, Jeff Bezos took enormous risks building Amazon from a tiny online bookstore to a global empire. But every step was backed by data, customer obsession, and relentless reinvestment. Playing the long game means avoiding get-rich-quick schemes, building a margin of safety, having contingency plans, understanding that losses are part of the process. The art of asymmetric bets. Risking little, winning big one. Of the smartest ways billionaires take risk is through asymmetric bets. Investments, or moves where the potential upside is huge, but the downside is limited. Think of venture capital. Investors put relatively small amounts into startups. If the startup fails, they lose the initial investment. Painful, but manageable. But if it succeeds, the return can be exponential. Here's how to identify asymmetric bets. The amount you risk is small relative to your total capital. The reward has multifold potential. The downside is limited or manageable. The timing and market conditions favor growth. This strategy is not only for investors. Entrepreneurs, too, can build asymmetric bets by testing small pilots or prototypes before scaling big. You're a real-life billionaire. Risk stories. Let's learn from some iconic billionaire risk moves. Elon Musk invested his entire fortune from PayPal into Tesla and SpaceX, facing near bankruptcy multiple times. His bets were high risk, but based on deep conviction and relentless problem-solving. Sarah Blakely risked $5,000 of her savings to create Spanx. She didn't have a backup plan, but leveraged research, persistence, and creativity to minimize risks. Richard Branson launched Virgin Atlantic after failing with a record company. His gamble paid off because he understood his market and customer pain points. Each story highlights strategic risk-taking combined with preparation and learning. How? To build a personal risk framework. To risk like the rich, you need a personal risk framework. A system for deciding when and how to take risks. Here's a simple framework to get started. Step 1. Define your risk capacity. Assess your financials situation honestly. How much can you afford to lose without jeopardizing your life or goals? Define this limit before investing or starting new ventures. Step 2. Clarify your risk appetite. This is your psychological comfort with uncertainty. Some people can handle high volatility. Others need stability. Be true to yourself. Step 3. Conduct risk, reward, analysis. For every opportunity, write down the cost or downside, the potential upside, the likelihood of each outcome. If the upside justifies the downside, consider proceeding. Step 4. Plan your risk mitigation. How will you protect yourself if things go wrong? Diversify investments, build emergency funds, or partner with experts. Step 5. Review and adjust regularly. Risk is dynamic. Regularly review your framework and tweak it based on experience and changing goals. Common risk mistakes to avoid. Many aspiring billionaires sabotage themselves with poor risk choices. Watch out for these traps. Overconfidence, believing you know more than you do, leads to reckless bets. Chasing hot tips, jumping on trends without research, ignoring the downside, focusing only on rewards, not risks, not having an exit plan, failing to know when to cut losses, emotional decision-making, letting fear or greed drive choices. Mastering risk means mastering your emotions. Risk-taking and innovation. The link to breakthroughs, innovation, and disruption thrive on risk. Most billion-dollar businesses were born from someone willing to take a chance on a new idea. But the smart risk-taker balances creativity with caution. They test assumptions, pilot ideas on a small scale, then scale what works. Famous innovators like Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk built empires by embracing risk and innovation simultaneously. Risk and resilience. Building mental toughness, risk-taking, is inseparable from resilience. The ability to bounce back from failure. The more risks you take, the more you will fail. The difference is how you respond. Billionaires cultivate resilience through maintaining a growth mindset, seeing failure as feedback, staying focused on long-term vision, building support networks, action steps. How to start risking like. The rich today start small. Take calculated small risks in your career or investing. Do your homework, gather data, and analyze every opportunity. Create safety nets. Save an emergency fund and diversify. Write down your risk framework. Use it for decision-making. Practice reflective learning. After each risk, review what worked and what didn't. Build your risk tolerance. Slowly increase your risk appetite with experience. Surround yourself with risk-savvy people, mentors and advisors who have been there. Adopt a long-term view. Don't expect instant wins. Chapter 8. No is your superpower. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed by too many demands, requests, and distractions, all pulling you in different directions? Maybe you've said yes so many times that your own priorities, goals, and energy have taken a back seat. If so, you're not alone. And this is exactly why mastering the power of saying no can be the game changer you've been missing. At first glance, saying no might sound simple. But in reality, it's one of the hardest skills for most people to develop. Why? Because our culture celebrates being helpful, busy, and always on. Saying yes feels like the polite, easy, or even expected choice. Yet, when it comes to building a $100 million mindset, no is your ultimate superpower. In this chapter, you will discover how billionaire-level success is deeply tied to the art of saying no, how it protects your most precious resources, sharpens your focus, and creates the space for the right yes to multiply your results. Get ready to learn why mastering no is one of the fastest ways to unlock extraordinary growth. Why saying no is the ultimate wealth-building tool. Here's a truth many miss. Time is your most valuable asset, even more than money. No matter how much money you make, you can never buy more time. And time wasted on unnecessary distractions, energy vampires, or fake urgent tasks is time stolen from building your empire. When you say no effectively, you're essentially reclaiming your go, time, your energy, and your focus. This lets you concentrate on high-impact activities that drive you closer to your goals. Avoid burnout and mental clutter that drain your creativity and motivation. Set boundaries that protect your vision and peace of mind. Billionaires understand this deeply. They guard their time like a fortress because they know saying yes to the wrong things is a silent wealth killer. The myth of yes culture and why it fails. Society glorifies the yes man or yes woman. We admire people who say yes to every opportunity, invitation, or favor. But here's the secret. This mindset kills progress. When you say yes to everything, you spread yourself thin. You become a jack of all trades, but master of none. Your energy and focus get diluted, and you end up working harder, but achieving less. Contrast this with billionaires who ruthlessly say no to anything that doesn't align with their vision or values. They understand that every yes is a choice, and so is every no. Remember, saying no isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's a way to channel your resources towards your highest priorities. Time is your ultimate asset. Protect it like a billionaire. Imagine time as the currency of your life. How are you spending it? If you're like most people, countless distractions and obligations consume large chunks of your day, often without you even realizing it. Billionaires treat time as sacred currency. They schedule, guard, and defend it fiercely. They ask themselves two critical questions before committing. Does this align with my core goals and vision? Is this the best use of my time right now? If the answer is no or uncertain, the answer is a firm no. This clarity helps them eliminate fake urgency, those endless emails, meetings, and requests that feel pressing but add no real value. How to identify fake urgency and kill it. Not everything urgent is important. Fake urgency is a massive thief of time disguised as pressing matters. Emails marked urgent but contain no real priority. Last-minute meeting requests with vague agendas. Social media notifications begging for attention. Small favors or requests that disrupt your flow. To kill fake urgency, start by categorizing your tasks using the Eisenhower matrix, urgent-important matrix. Focus your energy on tasks that are both urgent and important. Delegate, delay, or delete the rest. Practice saying no to fake urgent requests like this. Thanks for thinking of me, but I'm focusing on priority right now. I can't take this on at the moment, but I appreciate you reaching out. This isn't aligned with my current goals, so I'll have to pass. This sets clear boundaries and builds respect for your time. Energy vampires. How to recognize and eliminate them. Not all no's are about tasks and meetings. Some are about people. Energy vampires are those individuals who drain your enthusiasm, time, and focus without giving anything back. They might be chronic complainers who never take action, people who demand attention but offer little value, negative thinkers who sap your motivation, distractions who pull you into drama or gossip. Billionaires create energy boundaries by limiting time spent on such people and investing their time in relationships that uplift, inspire, and challenge them to grow. Here's how to handle energy vampires. Politely but firmly limit interactions. Redirect conversations to productive topics. Protect your time by scheduling limited windows. Surround yourself with positive, goal-oriented individuals. Remember, who you spend time with is as important as how you spend your time. Opportunity clutter. When too many possibilities paralyze you. Another hidden cost of saying yes too often is opportunity clutter. Having too many options or tasks at once, leading to overwhelm and paralysis. Imagine having 10 business ideas, 5 projects, and 3 side hustles, all vying for your attention simultaneously. Instead of accelerating your progress, this overload leads to burnout, indecision, and wasted effort. Billionaires ruthlessly prune their opportunity lists. They focus deeply on a few high-impact initiatives rather than chasing every shiny object. Ask yourself, which projects or opportunities have the highest ROI, return on investment, for my time and money? What can I pause, delay, or eliminate to focus better? What distractions can I cut today? Building boundaries, like a billionaire. The power of saying, no boundaries aren't just for work-life balance, they're a cornerstone of success. Learning to say no without guilt is critical to protecting your time, energy, and vision. Here are some boundary-building tips used by billionaires. Time blocking. Schedule focused work sessions and protect them fiercely. During these blocks, say no to all distractions. Communication. Clarity. When declining, be clear and polite. Avoid vague excuses. Learn to delegate. Saying no also means empowering others to say yes to tasks that don't require your attention. Say no early. Don't wait until you're overwhelmed. Practice saying no at the earliest opportunity. Use technology. Employ tools like email filters, do not disturb modes, and task managers to help enforce boundaries. How to say no without burning bridges. One of the biggest fears about saying no is damaging relationships, but saying no respectfully can strengthen your professional and personal connections. Here's how. Be honest, not harsh. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't commit right now. Offer alternatives. I can't help this time, but maybe someone else can. Thank them. Show gratitude to soften the refusal. Keep it simple. Don't over-explain or apologize excessively. People respect honesty and clarity, especially when you're consistent about protecting your priorities. Saying no to yourself. The inner game of discipline. Saying no isn't just external. It's also about the internal discipline to say no to distractions, bad habits, and impulses. Successful billionaires master this internal no. They say no to instant gratification. They say no to distractions like excessive social media or entertainment. They say no to self-doubt and limiting beliefs. They say no to burnout by prioritizing rest and recovery. Building this inner strength is often the hardest but most rewarding part of the no mindset. Real-life billionaire. Examples of saying no. Warren Buffett is famous for saying no to almost everything, except a few investment opportunities that truly excite him. Steve Jobs said no to thousands of product ideas. 2. Focus Apple on a few breakthrough innovations. Oprah Winfrey turned down countless projects to protect her brand and focus on ventures aligned with her vision. These examples show how saying no creates space for monumental yeses. Practical exercises to master. Saying no exercise 1. Daily no journal. Track every time you say no or want to say no but didn't. Reflect on how it felt and what happened. Exercise 2. Priority audit. List your current commitments and rank them by impact. Identify which ones you can say no to and commit to dropping at least one. Exercise 3. No scripts. Prepare and practice polite. No responses for common scenarios. The more you rehearse, the easier it becomes. Chapter 9. Network like a shark. Your net worth is not just about the digits in your bank account. It's also about who you know and who knows you. This simple truth separates the average entrepreneur from the billionaire visionary. Networking isn't about collecting business cards or adding random contacts on LinkedIn. It's about building real powerful relationships that open doors, create opportunities, and multiply your influence. In this chapter, you will learn how to network like a shark, the kind of relentless, strategic, and value-driven networking that billionaires master. This is the networking that transforms your life, career, and bank balance. Prepare to rethink your entire approach to relationships, influence, and social capital, because this skill can literally catapult your success. The billionaire mindset on networking, quality over quantity. Most people believe networking is about quantity. How many people you know? They attend countless events, try to meet as many people as possible, and collect contact info without much thought. The result? Shallow relationships that yield little long-term value. Billionaires think differently. They prioritize quality over quantity. They focus on cultivating a small circle of high-value, trusted connections rather than a large network of acquaintances. These relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and aligned goals. It's not about what you can get from someone immediately, but what you can build together over time. Quality networking means being selective about who you spend time with, deepening a few key relationships instead of spreading yourself thin, being known for your integrity, expertise, and reliability. This mindset creates social capital that is far more valuable than any single transaction. The power of being known, not just knowing. One of the biggest networking mistakes is focusing only on knowing others while neglecting to make yourself known. Billionaires don't just collect contacts. They build their personal brand and influence so that others seek them out. Ask yourself, are you a person who others come to for advice, partnerships, or opportunities? Or are you just someone who chases others for favors? To be known means sharing your expertise consistently through content, talks, or social media. Building a reputation for delivering value rather than just taking it. Being authentic and visible in your industry and community. When you become a go-to person, networking becomes effortless. People introduce you to others, opportunities find you, and your social capital grows exponentially. How billionaires build relationships that last. Billionaires treat relationships like investments. They nurture them over time with patience and consistency. Here's how they do it. Give before you get. The golden rule of networking is giving value first without expecting immediate returns. This could be sharing knowledge, making introductions, or simply offering help. When you lead with generosity, you build goodwill and trust. Consistency is key. They keep in touch regularly, even when they don't need anything. A quick message, sharing a helpful article, or congratulating someone on their success keeps relationships alive. Be a connector. Billionaires introduce their contacts to each other, creating a powerful web of mutually beneficial relationships. This not only adds value to others, but strengthens their own network. Focus on win-win. They avoid transactional relationships. Instead, they seek partnerships where both parties grow and benefit. Listen more than you talk. Deep listening helps understand others' goals and challenges, making your support more targeted and valuable. By treating relationships as long-term investments, billionaires build trust that becomes their most powerful currency. The 3 networking habits of billionaire success leaves clues. When we look at how billionaires network, 3 habits stand out. Habit 1. Strategic event attendance. They don't attend every event. Instead, they carefully choose events where their ideal collaborators, mentors, or investors will be. They come prepared with goals and a clear idea of who they want to meet. Habit 2. Follow-up ritual. Meeting someone is just the start. Billionaires follow up promptly and meaningfully, sending personalized notes, proposing next steps, or sharing resources that show they care. Habit 3. Social media savvy. They use platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, and industry-specific forums to nurture relationships and stay visible. Sharing valuable content regularly establishes thought leadership. By developing these habits, you shift from random networking to deliberate relationship building. Influence, credibility, and social capital. The currency of billionaires. Networking isn't just about who you know. It's about how much influence and credibility you have within your network. These qualities create what's called social capital, an intangible asset that can be converted into tangible success. Influence is the ability to shape decisions and actions. Credibility is being trusted and respected for your expertise and integrity. Social capital is the value embedded in your relationships, reputation, and network. Building social capital means being known as a person who delivers results, supports others, and leads with integrity. This opens doors that money alone cannot buy. How to build influence and credibility in your network. Influence and credibility come from consistently demonstrating your value and character over time. Here's how to do it. Be an expert, develop deep knowledge in your field, and share it generously. Deliver on promises. Follow through on commitments reliably. Help others win. Actively support others' success. Be transparent. Own your mistakes and be authentic. Communicate clearly. Be articulate and thoughtful in your interactions. Over time, these actions build a reputation that turns casual contacts into trusted allies. Overcoming networking fears, from shy to shark networking, can be intimidating. Many people fear rejection, awkwardness, or come off as salesy. But to network like a shark, you must overcome these fears and adopt a confident, genuine approach. Start by reframing your mindset. Networking is about helping others and creating value, not selling yourself. Practicing small interactions. Start with brief conversations and build comfort. Preparing questions. Ask about others' goals and challenges. People love talking about themselves. Being authentic. Show your true self, not a rehearsed pitch. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, until networking feels natural and rewarding. Leveraging online platforms to network. Like a shark in today's digital world, billionaires extend their networking beyond physical events to powerful online platforms. LinkedIn, the professional hub for connecting with industry leaders, sharing content, and joining groups. Twitter, great for real-time engagement, thought leadership, and following influencers. Clubhouse Spaces. Audio chat rooms allow for intimate, live networking. Niche forums. Industry-specific communities where deep conversations happen. To stand out online, share consistent, valuable content. Engage meaningfully with others' posts. Join conversations and add insights. Send personalized connection requests with clear reasons. Online networking is scalable and can create powerful connections globally. Networking sharks, think long-term, building legacy. Relationships billionaires don't just network for short-term gains. They build relationships that last decades and span generations. They invest in mentoring others, maintain relationships through life's changes, create communities of like-minded, growth-oriented individuals, pass on their networks and social capital to their teams or families. Think about your networking as planting seeds for a forest, not a quick harvest. Networking mistakes. To avoid, to network like a shark. Avoid common pitfalls. Networking without purpose. Always have clear goals for your interactions. Being self-centered. Focus on giving, not just taking. Ignoring follow-up. Meeting once isn't enough. Collecting contacts, not connections. Build meaningful relationships, not just contact lists. Being fake. Authenticity is everything. Action. Steps to network. Like a shark map. Your network. List your current contacts and identify who adds the most value. Set networking goals. Define who you want to meet and why. Create a follow-up plan. Develop templates and habits for staying in. Touch. Attend one high-value event monthly. Choose strategically. Build your online presence. Start sharing content or commenting regularly. Practice. Saying thank you. Gratitude opens doors. Be a connector. Introduce people who can benefit from knowing each other. Chapter 10. Die empty. Live fully. Imagine looking back at your life on your last day and feeling an overwhelming sense of peace. Not because you accumulated millions, but because you truly lived. You gave everything you had, left nothing on the table, and made a meaningful impact that will echo long after you're gone. This is the mindset that separates the billionaires who build legacies from those who chase empty riches. The phrase, die empty, might sound harsh, but it's a powerful call to action. It means pouring out every ounce of your potential, your talents, your ideas, and your passion into the world while you're here. It's a mindset that pushes you beyond just earning money toward creating something that matters. A legacy that inspires, transforms, and lasts. In this final chapter, you will learn why the greatest billionaires don't just chase luxury. They chase meaning. You'll discover how shifting your focus from success to significance rewires your purpose and amplifies your impact. You'll uncover practical strategies to build something that outlives you, so you not only live fully but also die empty, knowing you've given everything you could. Why chasing money alone leaves you empty? The world bombards us with the idea that wealth equals happiness. The media glamorizes lavish lifestyles, exotic vacations, and luxury cars as the ultimate goals. But many billionaires who seem to have it all confess to a deeper truth: money alone doesn't fill the soul. Studies repeatedly show that after basic needs and a comfortable lifestyle, additional wealth brings diminishing returns on happiness. The endless pursuit of money can lead to burnout, anxiety, and a hollow feeling of emptiness. Why? Because when money becomes the only goal, the journey lacks meaning. Billionaires who truly thrive understand this early. They realize that the pursuit of purpose, impact, and legacy fuels a kind of fulfillment money can't buy. This is why so many philanthropic billionaires find joy in giving away vast fortunes, because creating significance transcends success. From success to significance, the mindset shift. The most transformative mindset shift is moving from chasing success, external rewards, to chasing significance, internal fulfillment. Success focuses on accumulation, wealth, titles, status. Significance focuses on contribution, impact, influence, legacy. When you prioritize significance, your work and wealth become vehicles for something bigger than yourself. This shift does three critical things. Frees you from the endless rat race. When your goal is significance, you're not trapped in a cycle of more. You create with intention and meaning, creates enduring motivation. Impact-driven work energizes you deeply. It sustains you through challenges, builds a legacy. Significance plants seeds that grow beyond your lifetime. This mindset shift doesn't mean abandoning money or success. Instead, it aligns them with purpose, so your achievements nourish your soul and the world. The art of dying empty. What does it really mean? Dying empty means using your gifts fully. It means no regrets about unpursued dreams, unused talents, or withheld generosity. It's a mindset that pushes you to take bold action on your ideas before it's too late. Say no to distractions that drain your time and energy. Give generously of your resources, time, and wisdom. Live with urgency, knowing your time is limited. When you embrace dying empty, you stop procrastinating and start executing your highest vision. You maximize your contribution in every moment. The legacy mindset. Beyond wealth. To impact. Legacy isn't just about what you leave behind financially. It's about the lasting influence you create in lives, communities, and industries. Billionaires with a legacy mindset build innovations that change industries. Think Steve Jobs and Apple, Elon Musk and Tesla. Philanthropic foundations that solve social problems. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Cultural shifts by leading with values and vision. Mentorship ecosystems that develop future leaders. They don't just accumulate wealth, they invest in people, ideas, and institutions that outlast them. How to build a legacy that outlives you. Building a legacy requires intentional planning, consistent action, and a heart bigger than yourself. Here are key steps. Define your legacy vision. Start by asking yourself, what impact do I want to have? How do I want to be remembered? Clarity on this vision will guide your decisions and priorities. Align daily actions with your legacy. Every choice, habit, and project should move you closer to your legacy. Build routines that support your vision and let go of distractions. Develop systems and structures. Billionaires create systems, businesses, nonprofits, trusts that continue their mission without their constant involvement. Think long-term. Sustainability. Invest in people. Legacy is people-centered. Mentor, teach, and empower others to carry forward your vision. Influence is multiplied through others. Give back generously. Whether through money, time, or expertise, giving back cements your impact. Philanthropy isn't just charity. It's a powerful tool for change. Document your wisdom. Write, record, or create content that shares your knowledge and values. This preserves your legacy for future generations. The role of purpose in living. Fully purpose is the heartbeat of living fully. It's what fuels passion and resilience. Without purpose, wealth is hollow. With purpose, even modest resources can create magic. To find your purpose, reflect on: what activities make you lose track of time? What problems do you feel called to solve? What values do you want to embody? Purpose-driven people wake up, energized, and sleep with peace. Your 100-ma mindset includes discovering and pursuing your unique purpose relentlessly. Stories of billionaires who lived fully and died. Empty. Consider the life of Steve Jobs, a man obsessed with innovation and leaving the world better than he found it. He poured his creativity, vision, and passion into Apple, Pixar, and more, living fully and leaving a legacy that shapes technology decades later. Or Oprah Winfrey, who transformed her wealth into a platform to educate, empower, and uplift millions globally. Her legacy isn't just her fortune, but the lives she's touched through philanthropy and media. These individuals didn't just chase money, they chased meaning and left nothing undone. Practical tips to live fully. Every day, set clear priorities. Identify your highest value activities and focus on them relentlessly. Embrace time as a non-renewable resource. Treat your time like the precious asset it is. Practice gratitude. Regularly acknowledge your blessings. It increases happiness and motivation. Invest in relationships. Deep connections fuel emotional wealth. Take care of your health. A strong body supports a vibrant life. Push your comfort zone. Growth happens when you challenge yourself. Reflect and adjust. Regularly assess your life alignment with your purpose and legacy. Overcoming the fear of leaving. empty, many fear that dying empty means they failed or wasted potential. The opposite is true. Dying empty means you used it all. Your talents, time, and gifts. It's a sign of a life well lived. If fear of failure or imperfection holds you back, remember, imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Small, consistent steps lead to monumental impact. Your legacy is built by progress, not perfection. How to balance wealth and meaning. It's natural to want financial security. The key is balance, earning and growing wealth while anchoring your life in purpose. Create this balance by setting financial goals aligned with your legacy, avoiding lifestyle inflation that distracts from meaning, using wealth as a tool for impact, not just comfort. This balance creates a fulfilling, sustainable 100-meter mindset